welcome back to my channel. So today I have a video on the Marc Jacobs Perfect range. There are now 3 in the range, so I thought I should do an updated video. So I'm going to be taking you through what the difference is between the 3 and what I think of the perfumes. If you're new here, then hello, welcome. We're all about perfumes. I have hundreds of videos like this on new releases, whole ranges, and of course my blog that has detailed articles. I do have some very long articles on every version of the different Daisy perfumes, most of the Marc Jacobs fragrances, so do check that out, including links to where you can get some of their discontinued ones. And as always, I will leave a link in the description box to where you can get these Marc Jacobs Perfect perfumes all around the world. They are available at Look Fantastic, where you can get them at 20% off with my code LFTF. Soki. Cool. So Marc Jacobs for me was very much associated with the Daisy range of perfumes. They've been out for such a long time, and every year they have like limited edition flankers, and there's been so many of each one. So I was actually kind of surprised when they released Perfect a few years ago because it was like totally different. These are unisex fragrances, and you can see by the marketing imagery they use people of every age, race, creed, gender, everything. And the sort of philosophy behind them is that we're all perfect in our own way. It's all about celebrating your individual identity. I noticed when the first one came out, which is in got pink liquid in, I think all the campaign imagery did have women in, but now that's changed and you've got anyone and everyone in the imagery. They come in 3 sizes, 100ml, 50ml and 30ml. This is a 30ml bottle, and they all have these kind of charms on the lid, but the charms change depending on the size. So here on this 30ml, this is the intense version, we just have a bow and MJ and heart pendant type thing there. On the original Eau de Parfum, you've got even like a little banana on there, like a star, a shoe. It's kind of a collection of all different random things. So they're very unusual bottles. So what I have here, the original one I have in a sample, though I have smelt it many, many times, and it's actually a rhubarb perfume. Now there aren't many rhubarb perfumes out there. If you're a fan of Dolce & Gabbana, you might remember their D&G anthology series. They have one called L'Imperatrice, and that one is rhubarb. And this actually does really remind me of L'Imperatrice from Dolce & Gabbana. When you first spray it, you're getting all this fresh rhubarb, which is kind of fruity, fresh, but it's not sweet. And underneath that, you've got a little bit of an almond milk, narcissus. It's very clean, simple, everyday. It's not too fruity, it's not too sweet, it's not woody. Definitely unisex, just very clean every day. It is an eau de parfum, but I don't find it heavy at all. It's very fresh. Personally, I'd say you could wear this, you know, during the day, probably more spring, summer personally, unless you just want something very light. They are quite pricey, these fragrances. The 100ml is about £100, or you can often get them discounted though. So I think if you did want rhubarb, I'd actually recommend L'Imperatrice from Dolce & Gabbana, because you can usually get that for like £30. But Marc Jacobs is very big into their marketing and branding, and these are very cool perfumes. If you're looking for a gift for a young person, or you just don't know what to buy someone, I think this is a pretty safe blind buy. It's just like a fresh, nice everyday scent. That's the Eau de Toilette, that's the Eau de Parfum. They then brought out this intense version that I have here. I prefer the intense. So this isn't just a more intense version of the original, it is a different fragrance. There's no rhubarb in this. And this has an ingredient in it which I really love called Night Blooming Jasmine, and it's a really mysterious, almost exotic jasmine, which I think only smells and only flowers at night. And in this I really get the almond as well, and there's a sandalwood which supports the almond note, so it's very cozy, definitely unisex again, but it's creamy sandalwood. It's a little bit more interesting, I think, and obviously being an intense, it's a little bit more concentrated. I find it lasts better. Again, it's not super heavy, don't be put off by the word intense, but I think if you're a fan of Marc Jacobs Decadence, the one that came in the green purse shaped bottle, they're all discontinued, this would probably be one you'd like. Whereas if you're a fan of like Daisy, you'll probably prefer the original. Yeah, it's definitely giving me Decadence vibes. And almond isn't something we see a huge amount in fragrances. I am noticing it more and more, but for me this is very much almond as the star of the show. Yeah, it's definitely got a nutty quality as well. If you like those warm autumnal chestnutty nutty scents. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite of the three. And then we have the new Eau de Toilette that came out this year, which I have in this super cute miniature. And this one has a green theme. Packaging is green, the liquid is green. Now this one is different again. There's no almond, there's no rhubarb. Let me spray the sample version of it because it's easier. So this one, the main note is a narcissus flower, which is a very pretty, delicate flower. Again, giving me daisy vibes. I mean, daisy is a light flowery perfume, and this is a light flowery perfume. So maybe if you like daisy, the Eau de Toilette would be the best. And then if you like the fruitier Marc Jacobs daisy, like limited editions or Daisy Love, maybe you'd like the original Eau de Parfum. And then if you like decadence, you'd like the intense. Very, very fresh, light. It has a slightly aquatic feel to it in my view. Definitely inoffensive, clean, everyday. It's not overly floral. There's a cedarwood note in here, which is sort of, yeah, it's giving me, again, very clean vibes, like you've just fresh laundry vibes. Very unisex for sure. It is an Eau de Toilette though, so it's not gonna last beyond a few hours. I find the intense definitely outperforms the other two, as you'd expect. And the big bottle of this 100 ml has a cat on it, which I love. And they definitely have a bit of a cat theme going on. I noticed on the back of the packaging, there's a cat here, this little cat drawing next to the bottle. I love that because I'm a cat lover. Hopefully next year I'm actually going to get a kitten, so very excited about that. Let me know what you think I should get in the comments. So I think overall Marc Jacobs Perfect, I really like the campaign, that it's very inclusive. When I think of Marc Jacobs Daisy, I tend to think of like the popular girl at school would have Daisy. So I think I like that they've gone for this very inclusive, everyone's perfect vibe. I do think the prices, just like most Marc Jacobs perfumes, are quite expensive, though you can find them discounted. I can imagine the bottles being good for collectors. I wish they came with like little charms that could come off or something and you could make them in a bracelet. I think that'd be a really cool idea. But I think they're quite a safe buy. You know, if you've got a birthday, Christmas, whatever coming up, perhaps you've got a niece that you need to get a perfume for. I think the Eau de Parfum or the Eau de Toilette are very safe. You can't really dislike them. I think the intense one is less safe because it's creamy. Someone might find that too intense. But I think they probably do pretty well for the brand because of the whole ethos. And I really am really pleased that they, you know, that they're really embracing the whole gender neutral perfume trend that we have at the moment. So yeah, I think they're okay. I'm not sure that I go as far as to say they're Soki approved. I don't think I personally would buy them. And I do think if you like the Eau de Parfum, you should look for Dolce & Gabbana I can't say it. Basically, it's French for Empress. I'll leave the link below to the Dolce & Gabbana one. But yeah, let me know what you think of this range. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's it, guys. So thanks so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.